More news now. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is facing backlash after his decision last week to retire all 17 members of a CDC vaccine advisory panel and replace them with hand-picked choices, including some known vaccine skeptics. Our next guest is introducing a bill to reverse Kennedy's action and make it impossible for any other HHS secretary to do the same. Joining us now, Democratic Senator Lisa Blunt, Rochester of Delaware. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Tell us more about the bill and also how much support does it have?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on this morning. This is a really serious matter. Right now, it's been 60 years that this committee has been in place, providing us with data-driven, science-based information to help us have access to safe and healthy vaccines. And Secretary Kennedy came before our committees. I am on the Help Committee, and he also came before the Finance Committee, and it said that he would follow the science and that this committee would be intact, and he has reversed his word. And so that means that individuals who are counting on this information, whether it's for their children and their immunizations, to their parents, and maybe with flu season coming up, or even us in Delaware, we have avian flu as an issue that we care about. We have more chickens than people in our state. And so this is an important, serious issue. And so other members of the committee and myself have come together and written to the secretary, but also put forward this bill called the Vaccine Act. And it really is to make sure that we reinstate that confidence that we have had through Democrats and Republicans in the past, because this is a serious matter and it will affect people's lives.
But, Senator, this was thoroughly predictable to anyone who knew anything about RFK Jr.'s record on vaccines. And he did give assurances that he would not touch this panel. So are you finding any Republican support at all for this legislation?
Well, I can tell you that I had the opportunity to even talk to the chairman of our committee, Senator Cassidy, who not only is the chairman and a Republican, but he's also a medical doctor, and share our concerns. But the reason why we put forward this legislation is because concerns aren't enough. And so we are now in the process. We just introduced this bill with Senator Lujan, as well as Senator Warnock, and we've got 19 others who have also come on, signed on to the bill.
Any Republicans?
Not yet. But that's what this moment is about. We need Republicans to stand up to this chaos and craziness, just like we need them to stand up for the other things that we are seeing as well from this administration.
Senator, good morning. I want to shift gears and turn you to the story we were just discussing, the immigration raids, mixed messaging from the White House, at first suggesting that, that some of these farms would be spared, now perhaps not. The president over the weekend making very clear he's targeting blue cities for these raids here and potentially sending the National Guard to protect them. Given what we just saw in Los Angeles, given what we're hearing from the White House, what are your constituents telling you? What are you seeing there as to what could come?
Well, first of all, in Delaware, I served as Secretary of Labor and head of state personnel. So jobs and the economy are top of mind for me. And so as we look at this situation and what he's doing, there are a couple of things that we have to look at. One is the impact on our economy and what he's doing. The second is the politicization of, our National Guard, our military. We don't need that in a moment where we are seeing violence that is perpetuated from a political perspective. As a matter of fact, that needs to not even be a partisan issue either. It needs to be Democrats and Republicans who say that we don't condone that. And so as we watch this president, I think, again, you see it at the Department of Health and Human Services. You see it in his trade policy with tariffs. You see it in everything that he does. The two C's, chaos and confusion. And right now, what we need is certainty. And so, again, I'm calling on my Republican colleagues to step up, to stand up, especially in this moment.
Democratic Senator Lisa Blunt, Rochester of Delaware. Thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Mike Barnicle, you've known RFK Jr., as I have, for a very long time. I'm curious your thoughts on him firing everybody on this panel, appointing vaccine skeptics. I just wonder where this ends up, how far he goes in this campaign to discourage vaccines, the same vaccines that reportedly he made sure all of his children had.
Well, I think, Joe, you just put your finger in the most significant aspect of his appointment. I mean, there are several cabinet members, we talk about them nearly every day, that present some issues, I think, to large numbers of Americans. Pete Hegseth, Kristi Noem, their behavior in office. I would suggest and submit that Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s appointment is the most dangerous of the cabinet appointments. And I say that thinking of my grandchildren, because I think he poses a threat to normal health conditions of young kids in this country, and even of adults in this country, but specifically young kids. Measles vaccine, the ordinary vaccines that kids take going to grammar schools and high schools, things like that. His word is not his word. When he says something, it is meaningless. You can ask a couple of United States senators. His word is meaningless. And that's a real problem, because he is, in fact, dealing with the health and welfare of millions of Americans.